Welcome back to Soul Truth at Aubrey Podiatry. Today's episode 3, we are looking at footwear. What makes good footwear? What features are you looking for when you're looking at footwear? Number 1, the sole. What are we looking at when we're looking at a sole? So I have a shoe here. This shoe's a flat. It's a fashion shoe, so a flat sole is good for a fashion shoe. If you're looking at sporting activities for netball, you want a nice flat shoe as well, but with a bit of grip and a bit of torsion around your first joint. If you're looking at a hockey shoe or an off-road running shoe, you're looking at grip that has got a little bit more tread, because of course it's uneven ground and you need more tread for that. What are we looking for as far as footwear patterns? We're looking that we're wearing on the outside of the footwear here, and then a little bit along the lateral side, and then across the big toe where we push off the ground. Do you wear excessively on your shoe on the heel, on the back here? Is it wearing excessively on the inside or on the outside, or across the front here? Is it flexing too much and it's starting to break through here? These are a sign that there could be something going on. You may be rotating in or rotating out too much. Signs of wear and tear are good on your shoe. Everybody needs them, but it's how much wear and tear in a certain position could be causing a problem. Next up, we're talking about the heel cup. The heel cup is this part, the part at the back of the shoe that pretty much holds the shoe together. This needs to be nice and firm. Sorry, that's not a very good photo. Needs to be nice and firm. When we push here, we can see this doesn't fold over. If the back of the heel cup folds in and down this far here, then your foot will tend to rotate. Your foot will rotate on your leg, and then the muscles from your leg and to your foot can then be strained, causing problems. So we need a really good heel cup on a shoe and on a sandal. This is key to good stability. Laces. Why do we need laces? Laces are there for support, to support the heel cup and to keep your foot in the shoe. So here we have our shoe. We have laces all the way up. Some people have the lace loose down here, because if you've got a wide foot and the shoe is tight, then unloosening the lace can stop compression through your toes. We need it nice and loose through the base here so we can wiggle our toes without feeling the top of the shoe. Some shoes have an extra hole at the top and you can thread the lace further up, which should give you more support through the subtalar joint, holding and locking that hind foot on the leg, which gives you more stability as well. Some laces you'll find that you'll do up your lace and the upper is right over the top of each other like this. That means that the upper on the shoe is more likely overstretched and isn't giving you support and may need renewing. Some shoes have a zip, like this one here. This one here's got laces through the front and a zip on the side. So we think, well, why do we need the lace? Is it just decoration? The answer is no. You need to do up that lace, because even if you've done the zip up on the side there, the lace can then tighten the shoe together and give you more stability. If you leave it tightened all the time, zip in and zip out, eventually you'll find that does stretch and you may need to tighten it. These sort of shoes are fantastic if you've had a hip operation, or if you just struggle to get down to do your shoes up. So nice and tight at the start before you put the shoe on, and then pop your shoe on, do up the zip, and away you go. Some steel cap shoes are like this as well, or steel cap boots. Easy to get on, take less time, but still give you the stability of having that shoe and being able to tighten that lace. What about slip-on shoes like this shoe here? What is holding this shoe to your foot if there is no lace? The heel cup, again, that nice firm sturdy heel cup, and your toes gripping through the front here. So ideally when you buy a shoe like this, some people tend to size down because it will fit more snug and hold steady to your foot. Ideally I would say try not to wear this sort of shoe often, because if you're gripping with your toes, you're then pulling on your plantar fascia, which can then overstretch and cause heel pain. I'll just show you a little bit of anatomy. So this is our plantar fascia here, our wee foot here. The plantar fascia is the piece that stretches along the bottom to your toes there. So imagine that this was sitting in this shoe just here. Whoops, sorry. If that foot was sitting in that shoe, then you're gripping with your toes at the front here, pulling on the plantar fascia, which then can cause heel pain quite often. A few of you may have noticed that when you get out of bed after wearing an unsupportive soft shoe, or even jandals or Crocs are a big one these days, is that your foot can be a little bit uncomfortable when you get out of bed in the morning. You can get a little bit of heel pain, and it's usually because the shoe from the day before hasn't given you enough stability, hasn't supported that arch and that plantar fascia, let that overstretch, and then has caused you pain. We'll talk again about this once we get to stretching in our episodes. Thank you. Number 4, torsion. How much torsion do you want in a shoe? For a start, what is torsion? Torsion is the amount of movement you have in a shoe. A shoe like this should flex through the front. Good amount of flex, not an excessive flex like this, but just a good amount of movement there. This is where our toes push us off the ground, so we need that movement there. Some steel cap boots, if the steel cap goes too far forward over that first MPJ, over the ball of our foot, that can stop flexion and can cause problems with that first joint. We should be able to have a little bit of movement here through the arch, but not excessive. This shoe won't do it, but a lot of shoes like this sort of shoe that's quite soft will fold in half from the midfoot here. That shouldn't be the case. Ideally, that is too much torsion. Looking at the width of your shoe, we want to make sure it's wide enough through the toe box that you can wiggle your toes without them rubbing. If you can feel a burning sensation on either side, it may be that your shoe is rubbing on your little toe or your big toe, which can cause a corn, or that your nerves are getting trapped because the shoe's too tight, compressing the metatarsals through the front here onto the nerves, causing them to burn and your toes to tingle and may even feel slightly numb. Looking at the length of your shoe from the heel cup to your top of your toe, clearly this is obvious, the length. But are we looking at the length when you've got socks on? You're going to be wearing socks in that shoe. You need to allow for the length of your sock as well as the length of your foot. Is it long enough? Is it wide enough through the midfoot area here? We don't want the shoe splaying out because your foot is trying to splay. If your foot can't splay in the shoe because the shoe's not wide enough or long enough, then it's going to rotate again, causing problems with the muscles on the leg and the foot muscles as you propel off during gait. So what is the difference when it comes to price? Some shoes cost $100, some cost $300. Realistically, what you're looking at for the price is what it's made of, the construction. So if we look at this shoe here, it's leather. You'll pay more for leather than you will for synthetic. Leather can stretch to allow your foot to become more comfortable in the shoe, whereas synthetic doesn't. If you're looking at the liner or inside the shoe, this one here, I've taken the liner out. So the shoe comes with a liner like this, which gives you a little bit more support. Some you'll find that the liner doesn't come out at all. Other features you'll find are there's a little fancy piece at the part here, or you'll find some shoes have got a big tick on the side or a branding that will then cost more because it's a branded shoe. realistically, it doesn't matter what price the shoe is, as long as it has the features that we've talked about in this video. So a really good sole, depending on what the activity is, a really firm heel cup, and not too soft that your foot will rotate around. Good laces to give you good stability if possible, or if a slip-on shoe, a slightly smaller size would help you stay nice and tight. Not too much torsion through the shoes, good flexion through the front and through the middle, and a good length, good width through the toe box, nice and deep so your toes don't rub, and that you like it, really. If you're not liking it, then you're not going to wear it. So why is it that everyone says podiatrists don't like genders? Well, most genders have got no stability. They're just a simple sole like this one here. They're reasonably flexible. They're made of synthetic soled materials which typically whip away the moisture from your foot, causing cracked heels, and of course there's no heel cup. So there we are on the bottom. We're walking along. If your toes aren't gripping steady here, then of course you can trip and fall very easily. This is an Archie's Jandal. You would have heard about these before. It's a slightly better type of Jandal compared to the rest. It's got a slightly tighter sole through the front here. It doesn't have the fact that comes out the back, so it's not going to come out. They're still super flexible, still no heel cup, but it has got a little bit more support through the arch on the inside here. This is what I recommend if you're a flat foot type and would like something with a bit more support as for summer as far as a Jandal goes. If you have a high arch foot type and your toes curl up at the end, a Birkenstock type cork sole is really good for you because it's got good moulding through the sole of the foot, but also it's wide enough to allow your feet to splay. Otherwise, you could look at something like this one here. So this is something we stock at the Foot Room. It's got a heel cup, even though it's floppy, it still holds around the ankle, wraps around the ankle, gives you more stability. The straps are adjustable. There's extra little pieces you can add, and there's again quite good support through the arch. This is a sandal where the liner comes out, which you can then put your orthotic in. If we're looking at the sandal here, we can see it's got quite a good heel lift. Most of the shoes, even our little Jandal here, has it got a little bit of a lift at the back, or a wedge. We would say a wedged shoe is quite good because it can shorten the calf muscle, shorten their Achilles, so the plantar fascia, and then help your foot gain stability on the ground. Right, so this is one of my favourite shoes. It's a shoe that I do sell at the Foot Room at Aubrey Podiatry. The Foot Room is www.thefootroom.co.nz if you want to have a look. This is the Limit G. This is what I wear for work. It's got really good toe box, nice and firm, not too much flex, a good heel cup, nice lace, and a removable liner which I put my orthotics into. This shoe is a black shoe. You could use it for night, daytime. It's got really good support. Not a lot of grip on the bottom if you're in an outdoor situation, but perfect for a town shoe, or for me who I work in a medical centre, so it's perfect. It does come in different colours. There's the black one here with a little bit of fancy lizard at the back there. There's a red or a cherry lizzie also with the fancy piece on the back of it there. A navy, which I asked for the red especially because I'm a navy fan, and so it's navy with a bit of brown at the back. And then there is a coconut or a white. You would have seen if you've looked at my Greece photos, I wore this all around Greece. Perfect travel shoe. You could wear it with a dress, or you could wear it with a pair of shorts to the beach, or I even did the Ulla to fair hike in it. Really good shoe, just really comfy. I've actually wore these more often than I did wear my sandal, just because they're comfy, they didn't rub, and they were just so damn handy. Anyway, that's the shoe I like. We have plenty more shoes at the Foot Room if you want to check them out, or if you just genuinely need more help, give me a call on 688-9095, or online you can go to www.aubreypodiatry.com and make a consult from there. Okay.